I'm excited to talk to you guys. That's a fact. I'm excited to talk to you guys. I got a dope subject today. Let me be clear with that. I got something really dope to speak about, and I'm excited to hear people's comments on it, how they feel about it. Because this is a situation. This is gonna be a topic where everybody has their own opinion on the subject, which is dope because I like to. Me personally, I always love to see other people's perspective on different things. So today is super dope because we're talking about music. Now I don't know about y'all. I can speak on myself, but music played a strong impact in my life, right? Whether it was whether I was in a good mood and I wanted to go hang out and chill, and there was always a song that put me in that party mood, in that hangout mood. If I was in a love mood, there's plenty of songs out there that that keeps you in that love mood. And a friend of mine asked me a question. I was like, you know what? I think that's a dope question. I think that, it makes you think a little bit. Imagine the world without music. How would the world be? How would people move? How would the aura be, the energy be without music? Because I think everybody could relate to something when it comes to music. And music has changed throughout throughout history. It's changed, it's evolved. Some people might say it evolved for the worse because of how the change of music. It's incredible. How when I grew up, I grew up in a house. We're listening to freestyle music. We listen to first era of hip hop, whether it was LL Cool J or Kumo D, DJ, Kool Herc. There's a lot of different DJs and MCs from like that early 80s 90s era, from where that's the music I listen to, because I have older siblings, so I mean they listen to all the flavor shit, so I got I had my ears was to the streets when it came to music. Plus my mom too, every heavy music, and now the music these days, it could be catchy. You might bump your head. You might bounce to it, right? But it ain't the same. They're not talking the same. The energy, it depends on who's singing what, and who's singing it. First, what they singing and who's singing it, right? Because that energy could, it's different when you're listening to a song and, you know, um, you trying to understand the song, because a lot of people listen to the sound but don't listen to the words. And at times there'll be songs that I'd be like, I'm not too fancy of how it, and then you sit down, you really listen to what they saying, and you're like, okay, hold on, he's talking about something. So for every, this is why it's an opinion. It's an opinion because everybody's gonna look at this in all different way. But what would the world be like if there was no music? um I want to talk about the impact that music have in people's lives, because it does have an impact in people's lives. Maybe not everybody. Maybe there's some people that just don't like music. I haven't met one that there's not a song that they don't like and they will listen to, and maybe they done listen to it a million times. It could be one song, but I think everybody has that one song that they could relate to and they could listen to repetitively. Like they could consistently listen to it. So what I wanted to know, right? What does music have an impact on relationships? This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. What kind of impact people have in relationships? Because let me tell you something. Your music have a way of showing its ass when you want to. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You're arguing with your significant other. You're going through problems, whatever. Everybody relationship has their ups and downs and problems, right? And you're trying to let the day go by. Let's brush it off, right? So let's just say you're sitting in the car, and here this go. A song comes on, damn near replica to like the problem that you're going through, and it can't help but to think about what you're going through at the time, because you're going through it at the time, right? So now you listen to these songs, and it makes you think. I really think it makes you think. Like it's like, what do you do? Do you look at your other one? You be like, this motherfucker, huh? What do you? What's the feeling towards it, huh? Do do you sing it because you just know the song and you like the song, or do you really think about inner self and what you're going through and what you're processing through every time you listen to a song, or not every time, but you feel something like when I'm in love, when I hear a love song, I can't help but to think about the one I'm loving. I I, I can't help it. Especially they say maybe a line or two that's relevant to how you feeling. Cause the whole song might not be for you. It might be a little line or two in there, but that one line or two a line I'm running with, you heard? I'ma run with that shit. Facts. That's just how it is. Because at the end of the day, you know, uh, all we have is one life, and if you feel something, I feel like you should express it. You should love it, love the feeling, and this is something that music does for everybody. This is why, even in a negative tip, when I was younger, I was explaining to my friends and my lady, right, that when I was younger, I had a thing that when anytime I got to any little problem or I was gonna do something that I shouldn't have been doing, I had a tendency to listen to DMX. Rest in peace to the man, you heard? It's about to be 2 years. I think it's past 2 years right now. Just past 2 years that he's been passed away. And I had a thing that I used to listen to the man. And he used to put me in that place. And I was in that zone. I was ready to do what I was set out to do. And that was just off his music. I was going to do what I was going to do anyway. But to know that I could listen to this music, right? And it put me in a comfortable state to get the job done, then it did his job. And the reason why I'm mentioning that, because I wonder if everybody, it was just a curious feeling of, does everybody feel like that? Does everybody do that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, let me say something, right? There's people out here that can relate to music through lost loved ones. People, God bless everybody. God bless those who lost people close to them. And, God bless those who are sick and fighting for them, their lives. And because there are people out there, and this is why we have to be grateful. We have to be grateful on what God provides for us. He provides everything we need, right? He don't have to provide nothing but whatever we need to survive out here. He throws it right there. We just got to see it. We got to grab it. We got to be grateful for it. Give him thanks whenever we have a chance, right? So there's people out there that's really going through, real life issues, health issues, right? And, music tends to soothe the heart, you know, whether they passed and it always reminds you of this person, because there's music that always reminds someone of someone. I mean, I have a couple of songs there that every time I listen to it, I think of my brother. Um, I have music there that anytime I'm, going through kids' problems, and cause there's music out there where they talking about these badass kids. I might even throw a comedy show in there and listen to my man Bernie Mac be like, fuck these kids, who knows? Depending on the mood, depending on what the kid did. This is the feeling, though. This is thoughts that go in the head. Maybe you don't act to it, you don't really do it, but trust me, it goes through your motherfucking head like it does everybody else, right? So, is there such thing as good music and bad music? I mean, to me, there really isn't, right? Technically, I really think there isn't, because it's based on opinion. It is based on who's, 'cause everybody's different. I'm different from everybody in the world, so the way I perceive things, we might not perceive the same things, right? So, what is good music and bad music? I wrote I wrote like one or two things down, right? And under good music, I put good music has positive energy, consists of love, peace, and motivation. That's what I had labeled under good music. What I had labeled under bad music, because I had to think about this shit before, coming in, talking to you guys about it. I wanted to think about this shit because I wanted to be like, I didn't want to just come off of just like opinions, or, I try not to, because most of it is opinion and how I feel, or, but I try not to base it. So I got under bad music, I said encourages bad behavior. A change in the generation that's up and coming now. Because, music is not limited to who it touches. you know, I was talking to my lady, right? And we were just talking about how, young little ladies and young little gentlemen listening to music they have no business listening to. I just recently was in my house. I ain't think about it, guys. I know the music. I know y'all about to judge me right now because I do know the artist, right? It's the Ice Spice Girl, right? I do know the artist, but I didn't think about it because she asked me pretty fast. So she's like, "Dad, can you play this song for me, right?" And I'm like, "All right, here, play." I said, "Who you saying? Ice Spice, right?" I'm like, "Okay, play it." I ain't think about it for a second. The moment she pressed play, and I think she got like two sentences away, I stopped it. I'm like, you know why I stopped it? Because I noticed she knew some of the words to it. So I'm like, oh man, so this is not something I condone, you know? She goes on to the Roblox, she goes on to these different game apps and YouTube, and they showing it freely. And I know, now I know, we do the parental, rights and everything. So, you block a lot of content so you avoid your kids seeing certain things, right? But it baffled me that she knew some of the words. It drove me crazy. I'm like, erase that shit from your head. I don't want to hear it. Go listen to Barney. I can't even tell her to go listen to Taylor Swift. All Taylor Swift want to talk about is how somebody did it wrong. Some guy did it wrong. So where do I go wrong? 'Cause now I don't want her listening to Taylor Swift because now she's gonna think that every guy that she has to, encounter in life and future might do her wrong when it's not necessarily like that. It's not. Unfortunately, a lot of people go through bad relationships, and never bringing on their kids, right? But music has a way of teaching even us as adults. So imagine a kid that it's a sponge and is just soaking everything in there. They process things a little faster. We understand things as an adult. We understand things much better than the kids do. But it's like a computer just downloading. Since someone is downloading, you can't stop the download. You gotta wait for that shit to download. Well, some kids, heads are sponges like that. So it's scary. It's scary. It really is scary at times, man, especially for the little ones. Because I truly feel that we need to be on top of the music that our kids listen to, right? And I'm only saying this for kids and for people who use the seriousness behind this is because I'm coming from a thought of how people use music for other than what it is, and which is supposed to be to feel good and to dance to, and because it feels good to dance. I mean, who doesn't want to go out and have a nice dance and enjoy listening to good music and stuff like that? The whole purpose is what's considered good music these days. What is considered good music? I'm at a point where I want to go to a spot and it's not all playing what's considered ratchet music, ghetto music, however you want to put it. Because I come from that, so I know all the music, I know all the lyrics, you know what I mean? And it's like, at some point, it's like, I know all these artists word for word, right? Can I sing? I'm just throwing this out there, because these are famous, people. Elvis song, complete? Like, know the whole song? No, I can't. We know Michael. But even Michael, I know all the lyrics to all his. No, I don't. I know what I need to know. I know what I know. I know what to groove to. So what I'm trying to say is these days is like, we'll remember some bullshit. We can listen to some bullshit all day, but where's the good sound at? Where's that sound that brings people back into a good place? Where's that sound that makes people feel good, motivates you? Where's that sound at? Because it does exist. It's not to say that it doesn't exist. It exists. Where is it though? Like, where's the consistency to it? Where is it? Because that's what I think this is what we lacking right now. We lacking a low production of good music, of positive music. Let me say, when I say good, and what I'm interpreting it as is positive. Because we need some positive things in our life. And music has an impact on everybody. That's this the reason why I'm talking about it because you hear superstitious or you hear myths of how they water us and they brainwash us through music and through the radio and through the news and through everything is that's why I don't like to watch the news, right? Because every time I watch the news, let's say for an hour, right, the news is 1 hour, at least seven. I'm and this is pushing it 7 to 10 minutes. You might hear something positive coming from the news. Other than that, we're gonna be talking about how the Republican and Democrat are destroying the government system, how people are getting shot, guns everywhere, crack pandemic shooting back up to the roof. This is the things that you hear when I go on the news, and I can't stand it. I wanna talk about how somebody's creating butterflies in a garden. I want to talk about how people are walking in the beach and they cleaning the beaches out. Trying to avoid Mother Nature from tearing us apart because let me tell you something. We don't start taking care of the world, Mother Nature's gonna tear us apart. You know. So we gotta repair her. We gotta fix her, and it starts with us, right? So music has a way of initiating all this stuff. It really does. This whole week I've been binge listening. I'm sorry. So classic people. Whether it's the Temptations, we have the Luther Vandross, we have Teddy Pendergrass. I was listening to oh man, countless of people. I can't even. Anita Baker. I've been listening to them this whole week because you know we need something that's gonna uplift us and that's gonna keep us in a good spirit. And when I'm looking at these days right now, with everything that I'm going through, right? I look for these. This is what I'm looking for when I listen to music now. I want something that's gonna, you know, give me words of encouragement, because I feel like the last few years that I've been paying attention to at least, because it's been going on for a while. I heard an interview with Kool Mo D, and Kool Mo D was explaining how hip hop had changed, right? Hip hop had changed it from becoming MC and still talking about real stuff and what's really going on in the streets to murdering and killing your own people and he tried to, he didn't emphasize on anybody specific. He named like, because the Wu Tang is part of that beginning era. NWA, fuck the police, is part of that beginning era. And even though I totally agree with them of what they were fighting for, what they were going through, right? It did give a wave to like fuck it. I call it in Spanish que lo fuck it. He called it a bad kiss or que lo fuck it. And like I said, I told you I used to listen to DMX. He was a tough brother right there. He was like he was breathing down your neck type dude, right? So, I go back and I was like, damn, he's kind of right. Right before the NWA, right before the Wu Tang, we had certain artists. We had we had the Slick Ricks and like I said the LLs and shit, man, Curtis Blow. We had Run DMC. We had dope groups and artists, solo artists that was creating music that you could really bop to, and it didn't consist of having to, with negative stuff. It really didn't. It might have one or two slick talk. You know how we get type of swag to it, but other than that, it was just a great vibe, right? Because before everything is stages. You got all different type of stages from different music and stuff like that. This morning I was watching the movie with the Temptations, and I seen the rise of the Temptations, and there goes David Rufus, go fuck around, start doing extra shit, fucked up the group. David was that nigga. You know how much, that little separation they had. You know how much music the guys would have fucking killed if they would have stick together. They would have did shit right, did everything. Try to stay away from drugs because unfortunately in the industry, a lot of people dip and dab. I ain't gonna say everybody because it ain't everybody, but there, a lot of people dip and dab in that shit. Don't know how to control their habits, or they even if they don't even have a habit, shit, they might even create a habit. Cause that's just the way the world works, and that's we have whole bunch of celebrities to solidify what I'm saying. Not saying no name, Britney Spears, but fucking more or less that's what where we at with it. So, you know, music. I've been listening to a lot of new I guess because I don't even know are they considered beat makers? The guys that's using the little beat machine and because they all created sound. DJs use this for eons, right? But these guys are making legit sounds with these pads. It's before it was live instruments, and now is everything's in a touch of a finger. Look, here we go. Applaud for me. See how easy is that? That's it's a touch of a finger. And I had to do that. It was just because technology has gotten so crazy these days that you don't even see orchestras no more. Like before, I mean, Disney used to implement orchestras when they made a lot of their Disney movies. They used to implement a lot of orchestra soundings and suspense and thriller sounds, and they did that with live orchestras. So and I'm not sure if they moved away from that, but what happened to those beautiful musicians? You know how many jazz guys that was really good with the saxophone and and where are those musicians at? I want to hear a rise of music of live instruments and let me not to take away from that because I've seen a couple of dudes that was they they bodied that shit from top to bottom and was dope. But something a little bit different when you watching that live orchestra and you seeing them, you really, really, really seeing them handle that instrument the way they're supposed to. It's a good feeling watching them. Looking at the DJs, man. Remember when they used to have DJ battles and shit? Where's those at? Where's those vibes at? Where's those DJ battles at? I think those are the real battles that we be missing. It's fire when we could do a freestyle. But it's dope when it's a DJ get on the mix and drop something that's gonna have everybody moving. Everybody moving. So, but with that being said, we need to be conscious of what we listening to. I think that some things that we like or something that we used to like, and sometimes we just can't. We hear it, and when you start to grow, you it's because I'm learning into manifestation, right? So they say you manifest shit when you sing it, and even though it's a song, my opinion, mind you, this is just my opinion. Who the fuck am I? Opinions like an asshole. Everybody got one, right? That's what the saying goes. And if I want to manifest good shit. I want to manifest money. I want to manifest good business. I want to manifest, the right way of moving out here because there is a right way to move and there's a wrong way to move. And, fuck around, you listen to the wrong song, man. It could be, it's like a triple beam balance. You don't know where it's going to tilt to at times. So, look, guys, with that being said, I thank y'all for your time. I'm about to get high like a motherfucker, you heard? And I'm gonna catch y'all until next time. Until then, love, peace, greatness. Go onto your YouTube, listen to the best song you could think of that's gonna uplift you, that's gonna keep you positive, that's gonna keep you going, reaching goals, reaching new heights. And tell me how that feels in the comments, you heard? Ooh, I'm out of here. One.